Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Know Your World with Nishi. Today we discuss Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan has a deep connect with India. The Mughal emperors came from here, and Tashkent is where our former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shashtri breathed his last. But before we start, please know that we have videos on Samarkand, Bukhara and Fergana. Hope you like these videos. Tashkent is a modern metropolis and the capital of Uzbekistan. Its population is over 3 million, making it the most populous city in Central Asia. Tashkent has a western outlook with towering buildings, busy streets, overhead metro lines, modern infrastructure, and plenty of gardens. It is the country's commercial capital and is well connected with all significant Central Asian cities. During the Soviet era, Tashkent was also the capital of Russian Turkestan, which covered a vast part of Central Asia. The city's Russian influence is distinctly visible in its colonial architecture, Soviet town planning, and the presence of a sizable Russian origin population. While Tashkent also has a rich history connected to the Silk Route, it looks far more modern than other Silk Route cities famous for its thriving trade. In 1966, the city was devastated by a deadly earthquake. It was rebuilt entirely by workers and volunteers from different parts of the Soviet Union, and as a result, Tashkent's urban skyline has a distinct European feel. After Uzbekistan's independence in 1991, the city was further modernized and became the country's capital. For those who haven't had a chance to see my video on Uzbekistan, here are a few useful tips for travel to the country. The best time to visit Uzbekistan is March to May and from September to November. It gets very cold outside these months, although many visit Uzbekistan in winters to experience snow in Tashkent's ski resorts. Tashkent is well connected to various countries and has a daily connection to Delhi. Delhi-Tashkent takes just about 3 hours. Tashkent is also very easily accessible from Shymkent in Kazakhstan. Shymkent is just about 120 kilometers away. Uzbekistan has an efficient mobile network and SIMs are easily available for tourists. The currency here is Uzbekistani Som, and $1 yields approximately 12,500 Uzbekistani Soms. Language is a little less of a challenge in Uzbekistan compared to other Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. While Uzbek is the common language, English is reasonably well understood. Local food is meat heavy, although vegetarians have more choice than in other Central Asian countries. For more such information, check out my video on Uzbekistan. With this basic understanding of Uzbekistan in place, let's explore this capital city of Tashkent. Amir Timur Square is the heart of Tashkent. It is a large public garden with well-maintained lawns, flower beds and fountains. In the center of the square is a tall statue of Amir Timur, a powerful emperor whose empire extended across Central Asia in the 14th century. Designed initially by Russians in 1870, the city square was a public park called Constantin Square. During the Soviet era, it was renamed Revolution Square and had statues of Bolshevik leaders. Only after Uzbekistan's independence in 1993 was the statue of Amir Timur, the national hero of Uzbekistan, placed in the square. The area around Amir Timur Square has many important landmarks such as government offices, metro stations, gymnasiums, schools, museums and upmarket restaurants. There is the grand old Uzbekistan Hotel, renowned for its brutalist design of Soviet-era architecture, and is one of the famous attractions of Tashkent. Also located nearby is Tashkent Chimes, a historical clock tower whose dial was a war prize brought by the Uzbek soldiers from Nazi Germany. Next to the Amir Timur Square is the State Museum of the Timurids, also known as the Amir Timur Museum, which is solely dedicated to the history of the Timurid dynasty. Its interiors are stunningly decorated like a palace with gold-painted ceilings, life-size frescoes, marble columns and a monumental chandelier. In the vicinity is the Broadway, also known as Sizeable, a popular pedestrian area. I took the long alleyway between Amir Timur Square's gardens and Independence Square's fountains. The Broadway is lined with beautiful trees and features trendy stores, cafes, restaurants, souvenir shops and fun rides for children. The atmosphere is always lively and bustling, resembling a fair. At the end of the Broadway are the fountains of Independence Square or Mustaqilik Mayadoni in Uzbek. It is a central public square of Tashkent where various government offices are located. The Aksaray or the Parliament, Senate, Ministry of Finance and Akimat, which means Local Administration Office, are some of the important buildings situated here. At its center lies a large pool with beautiful fountains, a refreshing spot to rest during the hot summers. The Mustaqik Mayadoni was formerly known as Lenin Square during the Soviet period and was the venue for parades and public celebrations. Next to it is the Independence Square. The Ezgalik arched gateway with 14 columns representing each region of Uzbekistan welcomes you. On each column rests graceful figures of white stork, Uzbekistan's national bird. The vast gardens also have several structures of national importance, such as the World War II Memorial, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and the Uzbekistan Independence Monument. Those interested in Russian history can't miss the Romanov Palace. It is an elegant European-style mansion in the heart of Tashkent. It was built in 1891 and served as the residence of the exiled Russian prince Grand Duke Nicholas Konstantinovich Romanov. The Grand Duke contributed towards the urbanization of Tashkent and also was a great collector of art. After he died in 1918, the palace was converted into an art gallery. Treat your shopping pangs at the Chorsu Bazaar, one of the largest traditional markets in Central Asia. Chorsu means crossroads in Persian, as the market is in the center of Old Tashkent. Spread over a large area, the market is neatly arranged in various sections where one can find different household items, fruits, vegetables, meats, spices, sweets, breads, and much more. You can't miss the Uzbek cuisine in the alleys of this market. I tried the various dairy products, dry fruits, salads, sweets, and breads the vendors offer. The aroma of fresh Uzbek bread, naan or patir baked in giant tandoor ovens is irresistible. Then comes khanum, samsa, shashlik, Korean salads and lagman, rinsed with pomegranate juice. Wow, it's yummy. Guys, did you know that the palau that we relish in India has its origins to plow in Uzbekistan? and B&B Kazon is a popular Tashkent restaurant famous worldwide for its delicious pulao. Pulao is a traditional Uzbekistan rice dish with lamb meat, onions, yellow carrots and spices. It is also a staple dish in other parts of Central Asia. It was immensely popularized by the Soviets all over the USSR. The restaurant's highlight is its lively kitchen, where skilled chefs demonstrate their talent for preparing enormous portions of pulao in gigantic cauldrons called kazons. The restaurant caters to thousands of patrons who dine here every day. Few Indians visiting Tashkent miss paying tribute at this monument. The Lal Bahadur Shashtri monument is a statue with a bust of the former Indian Prime Minister who died at Tashkent in 1966. Lal Bahadur Shashtri arrived at Tashkent to sign a peace treaty with the Pakistani President Ayub Khan after the Indo-Pakistan War of 1965. And one can't miss the mini India vibe with several Indian restaurants lined along the Shastri Street. Many of Tashkent Metro stations are more like museums than train stations. Tashkent Metro was the first subway system in Central Asia. Opened to public in 1977, it is also among the oldest metros of the USSR. The Tashkent Metro network covers a distance of 66.5 kilometers and has 48 stations. Prominent architects and artists of Uzbekistan designed these stations. Each underground station is created on a specific theme from Uzbek culture and is unique in architectural style and decor. The interiors of many stations are made of marble, granite, smalt and ceramic tiles and decorated with fancy chandeliers. The rides are fairly cheap. Mine took me to stations like Cosmonautlar, Alisha Navoy, Tashkent and others that are replete with carvings and aesthetics. If you're looking for a nice, pleasant walk in the evening or want to simply stretch your legs, the Tashkent City Park is one of the places to go to. A walk here gave me a feeling of a trip to a modern oasis city. Tashkent City Park is a modern park sprawling over a vast area in Tashkent's business district. Towering structures of posh hotels, luxury apartments and high-rise office buildings surround the park. The landscape is futuristic with extensive contemporary pools, musical fountains, stylish bridges and pathways. The park is beautifully lit and is lively in the evenings. We had some free time before our scheduled flight time, which was past midnight. We decided to do a quick visit of the newly set up Magic City Park. It is a fantasy theme park and one of Asia's largest. There are several large-scale replicas of Egyptian pyramids, Moscow's Red Square, London Bridge and others. Family entertainment centers with many recreational activities, joy rides, restaurants, aquariums, theaters and many more. The park center is a fairy tale castle with a large pool and magical fountains that are brilliantly lit in the evenings. Chirgan is Tashkent's answer to Shimbulak in Kazakhstan and Karakol in Kyrgyzstan. This is Uzbekistan's most popular ski resort and is just about 80 kilometers from Tashkent. The Chirgan Mountains are a part of the Tian Shan range along the border with Kyrgyzstan. It has an elevation of 1200 to 1600 meters and was a site for mountaineering training during the Soviet times. During summer, it is a place for various outdoor recreational activities and adventure sports such as paragliding, skiing, snowboarding and horse riding. One such point is Samarkand, where my colleague and I hopped on a cable car to go for a panoramic viewpoint of the landscape. Treat your eyes to incredible vistas of the snow-clad mountains and the deep blue Charvak Lake. A little ahead of the Chirgan mountains is Charvak or Char Bagh, meaning four gardens in Persian. This is a large hydroelectric dam on the Chirkik river that serves as Tashkent's primary water source. Why would you come here? Well, Charvak Lake is a quick getaway into nature and the journey is a spectacular drive through the mountains. Take a boat ride in the reservoir, which resembles a large alpine lake in the middle of snowing mountains. Tashkent is a great place to start exploring Uzbekistan. It's a fine balance between traditional architecture and modern buildings. One typically can move westwards to Samarkand, Bukhara and Khiva. And on the eastern side, there's Fergana. We have videos on these cities. Do take some time to watch them. Thanks for watching.
Unwinds live their stories